Greetings, everyone. My name is doula Mareesha, and I'm here for the start of a new series called Cut the Cord, or hashtag Cut the Cord. So, with these readings, these are collective readings. So, this is for both the divine masculine and divine feminine, and however you choose to identify yourself with. And we're going to focus on the issues and the circumstances and the situations that our ancestors, that the Holy Spirit, that God wants us to cut the cord on. We all, in our spiritual journey, we deal with closing out karmic cycles. But for a lot of us, sometimes our struggles is actually realizing that we're in a karmic cycle and what those certain behaviors and even people that we're keeping around that's causing us not being able to move forward on things. And I think that now is the time that we become a lot more intentional with being able to do the work to move things forward. And that's why I'm here. And so I've been lucky enough to assist other people in their cord cutting journey, especially when I, began my own cord cutting last year. And so I've been guided to make the support a lot more out there and in the public. And so if you are trying to figure out what are some things in your life that you may need to cut out, what are some things that you feel tethered to, that you want to feel released from, hopefully you'll be able to get something out of this message. And a little later on, I will also be offering cord cutting services for those who want a partner in that journey. So let's get started. Let's start on what are some messages that the ancestors want us to receive. What are some messages that just the higher power, the Holy Spirit, Father God, what does He want us to know? And what are some things that He feels that we need to work on cutting the cord from? All right. So what messages do we have for the divine collective, for all of the men, the women, all of our, whether you're cisgender, transgender, non-binary, femmes, the masculine, the queens, the kings, the gals, and the girls, for whoever who is on their divine journey. Where do you feel that they need to start cutting the cord from? Right. So I'll be using both tarot and cartomancy to do these readings. Ooh. All right, should I take them? All right, so starting off, we have the Six of Clubs, we have the Seven of Hearts in reverse, we have the King of Spades, we have the Eight of Hearts in reverse, we have the Two of Spades, and then we also have the King of Diamonds. With the Six of Clubs, I definitely feel as though for a lot of you all who are ever, you stumble upon this reading and, you just decide to click on it, you were definitely meant to watch this reading. Because I see the Six of Clubs not only as a fate card, but as a card of your intuition and of your psychic abilities. It's a card of what it truly means to communicate your heart's desires. Some of you are not really communicating what it is that you really want out of life. I'm getting a feeling of like a defeatist attitude. I don't know if it's because of the fear of people not really supporting what it is that you want to do. The fear of being able to really open up to others, whether it's personal, it was about business ventures. There's a lot of fear here, which is very interesting for this to come with the Six of Clubs. But I think that this is the time now to really get to the bottom of what that fear is, because obviously that fear is holding you back from being able to move forward on things that you want to do. And I mean, let's just be honest, it's the things that God is obviously wants you to do. But there's still problems that you have when it comes to external validation. There's issues of you feeling like, okay, if I do this and it doesn't work, I'm going to end up back into the same situation. Almost like you don't want to prove people right, you know? And because of that, a lot of your relationships have suffered, especially with the Seven of Hearts in reverse, because of the lack of support of whether it's like supporting you on your business, supporting you in other personal endeavors, whether it's supporting your relationships. There's a buildup of resentment that is happening. Allowing yourself to be emotionally closed off because you just don't feel supported by your space. I'm getting a lot of friends and family when it comes to this. Not necessarily like romance, but really like what your current environment is. So a lot of this energy could be people who are single. You may not have a significant other current, or if you do, I don't sense that you're necessarily married to this person. And I do know that sometimes people like to see the cards, so sometimes I'll allow you will be able to look it up. But with the Seven of Hearts, if you know anything about numerology, of course the number 7 is considered a spiritual number. And so when you're dealing with the Seven of Hearts, you're dealing with emotional attachments, issues with being able to let go. You're also dealing with friendship energy. So this is really talking about really unlearning and relearning how to operate within your environment that you're in. Because you're not always around your lover. You're around your family too. You're around the people that you work with. You are around friends. And they play just as much of a part in you believing that you can move forward on things as if a significant other, your boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, however, you all both, choose to identify someone that you have romantic feelings with. But I definitely see that there's a lot of issues around the loss of what you may have, that you used to believe would have been a place of emotional comfort and support and understanding. And with the King of Spades here, this is your energy, of course, definitely. The King of Spades represents a person who is able to really master. It's a card of mastery, but it's a mastery of the moves that they make. Obviously, being, in space to think that your current friends and family are the people who are supposed to support you, are the people who are supposed to help you move things forward. Obviously, that's not the case here. And I think that there is a call for a lot more independence in that. And it's not to say that people here are being necessarily too codependent or like you're leaning on your feet for everything because you have no. There are people with jobs. There are people who are doing a thing. However, I think there's a skewed view on this type of approval that you feel like you need from these people in order to move forward on something that you know is going to ultimately make you happy. It really sucks that we can't necessarily get the 100%, oh, I support this venture, but I see you bringing in money, I see you that. That's just not reality, for the simple fact that, one, not everything that God gives us and that our ancestors give us is meant for everyone to understand, to digest, and all that. That is our dream. And it's not something that we should feel as though other people should conceptualize. Like, what, like that's too much power that we're giving to people. When we say that, I just want them to see me be able to, because to be honest, some of those people can't even see those things for themselves. So how in the world are you expecting someone who has a limited view on how they see life to obviously see kind of like this grandiose view for you? It's just, it's even something that even I've had to come to terms with some of my dreams and aspirations as being a birth worker, as being someone who can, as a spiritual advisor, a cord cutter, a doula, and as far as a midwife. The things that I want to do are not conventional. They're not something that the average person says that they, when they grow up, as an adult, that this is what they want to do. So it is very common for people to, in many ways, question whether or not this is something that I could ever be successful with. But if I know that this is something that's in my heart to do, it's up to me to decide how successful I'm going to be at it. And that's the real embodiment of the King of Spades energy. And as long as we allow ourselves to operate out of the reverse side, the fact that we don't move unless someone else pretty much gives us the validation to do so, that gives us the kind of go ahead, then we're not going to move forward on those things. We're not going to be able to. So there is something about being able to communicate what it is that you really want to do. There is something about being able, and not even saying to voice it to get into these conversations, but sometimes you have to be able to say these things to yourself. It's not always the other people that you need to convince. It's you need to convince you. And sometimes we can use other people as a scapegoat, as if they're the ones that truly need to convince. And no, you want them to convince you that you are, so that you can get up. You don't need them. You have yourself. You know your gift. Many of you have seen the results of your gift. So what else do you kind of need in order to say that I need, it's time to move forward. It's time to move forward so I can be able to get these good things. With the 8 of Hearts in reverse. So of course with the number 8, number 8 is the number of completion. Actually, no, it's a number of new beginnings, but it's also a number of success. It's a number, a number of good tidings. Of course, I love the number 8 because usually, the number 8 means that, things is working, things are moving forward. You're seeing things to start materialize. But with that being in reverse, you can think the opposite. There are going to be a lot of people, and I kind of sense it now, that there are some people who are like, that you have been able to move on and focus on things, find your happiness. It's like you kind of it's like being okay with knowing that you're not moving along with the popular decisions of the crowd, and other people not being okay with the fact that you're not moving on with the popular decision of the crowd. Like, you got some straight followers out here. And you got folks who want other people to be followers too. They mindset, everybody wants the same mindset. Mass thinking. All that. Before I moved back home, I lived, on the East Coast. I live in D.C. And, of course, if you ever lived in D.C. for a certain amount of time, you understand there's a certain mindset there. There's a certain way that people go about things, the way that they think. I guess you can kind of say what they say, like that matrix energy, where people are kind of caught up in, like, a web. And when you are following things that make you happy, and sometimes those things don't necessarily fall within the realm of what people are used to, it can be a turnoff to some, especially if they don't understand it. And I know that for a lot of you all, even on the conventional side, like there are look, you stepping out doing your big thing. You even just like, there are just some people who are like jealous of it. And some of y'all still struggle with the fact that people are jealous of that, people are jealous of the few likes that you get. Some people are, jealous of the few more followers that you have, the few more shares. It does not matter, Even if people may bring up your name and say, hey, have you heard from so-and-so? Do you know this? Like that, those are things like that could make them upset, child. Okay? And what I'm hearing, for some reason, a lot of y'all still struggle with that. A lot of y'all still struggle with knowing that you are meant to go against the grain. And it's quite funny because it's just like, how in the hell Are you going to be so, oh, I'm a divine feminine, a divine masculine, I'm this being, but then, like, don't understand that everybody don't bang with a divine feminine? Like, we know this already. Some of these things we kind of know this. Now, I will be transparent to say, does it feel good? No. Doesn't necessarily feel good? No. But the energy that I'm feeling is that for some reason, some of you guys are still like not understanding that. You got to be okay with knowing that everybody's just not going to agree. And for a lot of us, if you are truly a divine masculine, divine feminine, you have dealt with a lot of people by not agreeing with some of the moves that you make. So, like, at this point, it's just like, look, it's something I'm going to do tomorrow that you're not going to agree with. So, fuck it. I mean, I might as well just go forward. I might as well just go and do what it is that I want to do. I might as well. I was getting hell when I was low vibrational and all this. I'm getting hell while I'm still being high, while I'm being high vibrational and healing. So then fuck it. It looks like I'm just going to catch hell from y'all regardless. So I might as well just move on, and do my things. Just gotta just do the thing. And then I feel like once that you are able to like let go of those, the attachment that you have with, it getting all of this acceptance from these people who obviously never really supported you in the first place. With the Two of Spades represents partnerships, working together, cooperating together. It's like when you come into the realization that what you can achieve, you are able to do on your own, the easier it will be for you to find other people who will be able to support you. It's something about getting rid of this air of desperation for acceptance. And I talked about how like a lot of, even in relationships, how some of us can give up. Like when we want to look for love, we can kind of give out this air of desperation. This desperation to find friends, this desperation to find love, this desperation to make a quick dollar, that we get met back with people who are attracted to desperate people. And for a lot of y'all not desperate. You are the last people that should ever feel desperate or should ever, think that you should be desperate. Because I'm sensing that there are some good people that is going to watch this reading, and that you all have been judged, taken advantage of, used, betrayed, all of that. And you have proven over and over again that you are a good partner, a good sister, daughter, friend, confidant, whatever. You don't ever deserve to be put in a place that you have to give out the air of desperation. If anything, people should be coming to you to be your friend. People should be like showing like how you like me. I want to know. Instead of me, or any of us trying to explain how we're this. No, they need to be explained to how they should be in our energy. And then when we put ourselves in that, and the energy of receiving what it is that we're putting out, which is the air of, y'all come here. I'm not running. Y'all come here. We will also be in the air of our King of Diamonds, our King of Pentacles. Success in financial opportunities, success, stability. Ultimately, our stability is what makes us happy. And we have to stop fighting that. Like, it is okay to get up and make money doing something that you really enjoy doing. Now, of course, like, we should all have a plan. We shouldn't just jump into things without, really understanding, what the process is going to be like. And even I had to learn that as, the hard way as a birth worker. Having my own doula business and, needing to move back home with my family to get a restart. And then, ultimately I hope to begin, helping more folks catch their babies in no time. But I can't keep running from the fact that I really love birth. One of the happiest moments that I can ever always go back to was my first live birth in the hospital, with the mom who was just like, I want to go, unmedicated. I want to do vaginal. I don't even want to meet the anesthesiologist. And we were in there, and it was just like the most spiritual moment for me, but then also recognizing the level of intimacy that was involved in birth work, of knowing that, I was one of the first people to see this baby, touch this baby. That was just dope. And I want to keep feeling that. And I'll be lying if I say that going to work at another hospital is going to give me that same feeling. As a health educator. It's not. I know it's not. And then on top of that, I love doing this. I love being able to pull out a deck of cards and, allow the spirit to just read the room and, share my story with other people. And I really do hope that, this makes me happy, continue to make me happy. I'm going to keep doing these videos because obviously, something got work. But yeah, it's okay for us to chase our dreams. And it's okay to do it against everybody else's wishes because, God did not give them our dreams. I'm sorry, but that's not. God did not give them our dreams. God is talking to us. Just like God is talking to them about their stuff. He ain't up here telling me about everybody else's stuff because it ain't none of my business. I'm here for me. And that's the problem with a lot of people. You ain't got room. You got your own prayers and cycles that you need to clear up. Why are you worried about mine? Shoot, even for your family. They got their own stuff. And I even more pissed off I got to spend more of my time closing out these cycles for y'all because y'all won't do the work. All right, let's pull some of these tarot cards. Let's see. What's some more messages around what we need to be cutting the cord from? What are some of the tethers that we need to start paying more attention to? Reverse. Say all these cards. Sorry, but come up like that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we have the, of course, Ace of Wands in reverse. We have the High Priestess in reverse. We have the Eight of Wands in reverse. So yeah. So like, funny enough, with this Ace of Wands, it's almost talking about a lack of creativity. I see the Ace of Wands sometimes as kind of like, you know, my BD card, my BIGDICK, or BDE card, BD energy card. And so that talks about, you know, sexuality. That talks about intimacy, you know, just in ways of like sacral chakra energy. I do feel like a lot of us are celibate. And it's low-key kind of creating a blockage. We need to get out here. We need to do something with our lives, y'all. Because, yeah, like, there's blockages. And because of that, because we're not operating out of what's making us happy, out of what's making us, it's like fucking with our intuition. Like, we're just, like, not in, like, it's really speaking of an imbalance. We're imbalanced when we're not operating out of what makes us emotionally stable. We're imbalanced, right? Because with the High Priestess, when I think of the High Priestess, I think of someone who be able to go deep inside. I mean, in like the all-knowing kind of sense. But then there's also a way that she's able to balance her light and dark energy. She's able to, you know, not be taken off kilter. You know, this is someone kind of like how she sits and she's poised. Like, it is something about really being able to operate in balance and stay in. And then when we're not doing that, when we're doing things that we hate, when we're doing things that we know, like, okay, yes, it's here, but it ain't really what we want to do, it does not aid in that. So we really have to be diligent in putting ourselves in positions to ensure that whatever that we're doing is something that really makes us happy. And I keep saying that, but that's what I'm just like that. Like, it's something about happiness. Like, really focus on things that make you happy. Like, we got to get back to that. We really do. This is something on that. And that leads to the Eight of Wands. No moving forward. You know, we're not being able, again, we can't close out shit. And we're still allowing ourselves to stay in this complacent because we're scared of what other people are going to say. You know, we should be here fast. We should move fast somewhere, you know. But when we do this, we're falling off the bike. We've stumbled. No fact, you know, wherever we're going, we didn't halt it. And I mean, I feel like I'm reading for myself, low key. I mean, I just have to keep it real. Like, it is time. It's time to get here, because currently, you know, we have to, you know, we're tethered to this idea that we have to get this type of validation from people. That, you know, Our biggest fan base is from the people that we grew up with, that the family that we were born into, and that's not always the case. Sometimes our biggest fan base is complete strangers that needed someone who was a complete stranger to tell them that everything was going to be okay. Okay. Should I use these? Should I go to Queenella? Okay. So let me use one more deck. And so this deck is actually from Queenella. She is a fellow YouTuber who I actually started watching when, like, way before I started my own tarot, clearly. So she has her own oracle deck, and she has quite a few other decks too. So definitely support her in that. So we're going to pull a couple of her cards, and then we're going to wrap it up. Hers a little big, so I gotta do mine. Hers a little different. So, right. Messages. All right. So, and it's funny. Okay, so the overall energy for this is self-employment. So I'm definitely going to say that for a lot of us, we are definitely meant to have our own shit. Hopefully you two don't flag me. But we are definitely meant to have our own SHIT. So that's it. That's all. Okay? So I pulled this. I love her cards. So you have, I know you fucking lying. That SIT is for the birds. You got the Empress and you got Coping. So, I mean, straight up, like, for a lot of us, I mean, we in our feelings. You know, we are not feeling a lot of the current energy that is around us, and a lot of it's not coming from us. It is coming from people who want to try to dictate how we move, and so we really have to be better with how we maneuver around that. Of course, again, we're not meant to be confrontational, but at the same time, you know, we know what makes us happy. And then we also understand that everybody's not going to go on that ride with us. And so you have to learn how to move accordingly. And with the Empress, of course, you know, a lot of us are in the middle of birthing a new beginning for ourselves. We're birthing a new business. We're birthing ideas. We're birthing projects. You know, it speaks that we are fertile right now. It speaks that a lot of us are in a position to make some money, to start a family, you know, to just do a lot. You know, fertility work ain't just for getting pregnant. It's also being able to lay the foundation for you to gather an abundance. So it is important for you all to be in your Empress energy within this season. In the time that you find this, it will behoove you to really start doing that work to get yourself ready for that new season that's coming in. But a part of that is going to come in once you start getting rid of that external validation for people. The people who love you will come. And I'm hearing that there are some people who you wouldn't even think will love you, and they will love you. You know, and love you way more than the people that you thought would love you. And so, look, like, telling you. And then seeing this coping card, you know, be careful with just indulging too much in certain things. You know, the ancestors love the libations. They love the stuff too. But we're not doing it to escape from nothing. We're going to face the SHIT that we deal with. Okay? So, I'm keeping that straightforward. If you know you had too much, we ain't doing that. If you already know what mood you in, then maybe we need to do something else because we don't want you leaning on self-medication in that way for that. So yeah. So what we cutting the cord this week for, we cutting out this external validation. We cutting out the need to believe that other people need to tell us when we need to go. We cutting out the idea that we are surrendering what it is that we need that makes us happy in order to satisfy other people. We are cutting the cord on being desperate for connections and friends, okay? Because we don't want to get caught up in the same type of cycles with the same type of people that we've had to heal from previously. All right, so that is going to end my first reading for the Cut the Cord series. And then I plan on, coming back and doing this hopefully every week, at least once a week, to do these readings with you all. So thank you guys for tuning in, and like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment. Let a girl know that you listened and how you liked it. All right, talk to you later.